I'd like to officially call to order the regularly scheduled Traffic and Parking Commission meeting of May 6th, 2024. Let the record reflect all commissioners are present. Commissioner Armando, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Let's stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There are no ceremonial items this evening, and there are no presentation items this evening. This is the time for public comments to address the commission on matters not on the agenda and within the jurisdiction of the Traffic and Parking Commission. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. If you would like to participate, please fill out a speaker card and turn it in to the commission secretary, and your name will be called. Speaker cards are available at the agenda review table by the entrance. Madam Commission Secretary, have we received any speaker cards?
No speaker cards, Mr. Chairhouse.
All right, moving on to the consent calendar. This is the time for the commission to consider matters listed on the consent calendar. Do any commissioners wish to discuss this item, or is there a motion to consider these items?
I'd like to pull item 3,
Item 3. Anyone else?
and I'll move items 1 and 2.
I'll second items 1 and 2.
It ain't working.
Are we good to vote on this? It says public
It
comment.
says public comment, yeah.
He's pulling the... Got a hiccup in the get along. Got a hiccup in the get along.
Commissioner Anderson?
Yes, aye.
Commissioner, Vice Chair Rickard?
Yes,
Chair of House?
Aye.
Commissioner Mondo?
Aye.
And Commissioner Carmina?
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously.
Okay, consent item 3 is traffic operational improvement study update. Co-chair?
yeah, I just want to make sure we're all in the same boat on this, including myself. So what this is a notice that staff's picked a consultant to do the study, and then I think this is on the agenda of the city council tomorrow night to approve that amount to do the study. And then if they do the study, it'll probably take 5-6 months to do it, I think. And so my question is, if they do the study and they come up with 10 wonderful things to do, how would they be funded? And I suspect they would not be funded until the 2025, 26, or 27 CIP program next year sometime, maybe? Yes?
Yeah, that's correct, Vice Chair Reichert. So we are requesting here in this item to update you that we have selected a consultant. We will be going to the City Council for award, or propose for them to award AGA Engineers as the consultant to do the traffic operational improvement study tomorrow night. If they do approve that, it's going to take approximately about 6 months for them to do the analysis as we discussed in a previous Traffic and Parking Commission meeting and City Council concurred. Once that happens, they will have some recommendations. We will bring that back to the Traffic and Parking Commission. At that time, we'll know what those cost estimates are for those recommendations, or at least estimated cost estimates. And once we have that, we could then start going through the budget season for fiscal year 2025 through 2027 with a 2-year CIP to consider whether or not those recommendations should be part of this, the ultimate CIP program. So to answer your question, you would see this most likely in fiscal year 2025, 2026 as a budgetary item.
Make us work. So is there any possibility that a CIP could be put in for some amount of money in this coming budget year, CIP program, to be used under just a general category, funding for study, pending study or something, so that if something comes up in the study and we know it next January, there'd be some funds there in the first half of next year maybe to do something? Is that possible?
Yeah, I wish it was. The thing is that we do have a lot of CIP projects currently on the books that we allocated funds for right now. We are a little bit short on our gas tax funds that will be coming up in discussion with the City Council, that we are utilizing general fund to cover some of those projects to make sure they can move forward, because those are the projects that were previously approved. So with these new projects, we typically would go down the path of getting the study, finding the recommendation, understanding the costs, going back to our approval bodies as well as our recommending bodies to decide which path do we need to go down, and then formalize it in a budgetary item as far as a CIP project or something along those lines, or an operating budget, just because if it's less than a certain amount, we could probably do it in-house versus going out. So that's a lot of discussion to be had, but at the end of the day, providing an arbitrary dollar amount takes away from some of our projects that are currently needed for funding. So that's kind of the financial gymnastics that we would have to do for this year. So that isn't the typical process in which we do these types of studies and recommend certain budgetary amounts.
Well, thank you. I just say thank you also, guys, for getting this done, and this is going to be a really big deal for all of us, and I'm happy to see it moved along. Thank you very much.
Any other commissioners have comments on item 3? Is there a motion on item number?
I'll move item 3.
I'll second.
Roll call vote again. Commissioner Anderson?
Aye.
Vice Chair Ruckert?
Aye.
Chair Faust?
Aye.
Commissioner Armando?
Yes.
Commissioner Carmenda?
Aye.
That motion passes unanimously.
This is the time for discussion items. Tran Traffic Engineering Manager will present item number 4, the Quarterly Capital Improvement Program Update.
All right, thank you, Chair Faust. That was a mouthful as far as the intro. Thank you, I appreciate that. So tonight, we have the pleasure of providing you another quarterly update of our capital improvement program, our projects, through quarter one of 2024. This was presented to City Council, and we just wanted to present this to our commission as well. So as you're aware, we have a large set of CIP projects or programs with about 68 projects currently planned for improving the beautiful city of Lake Forest. Half of these projects were approved by council as the 2023 to 2025 CIP program last June, and the other half have been budgeted in the previous years, totaling about a budget amount about $35.4 million worth of improvements. So let's start with the good news. Major projects that have been completed since January of this year. So the sports park parking lot, we did a slurry seal here. They received a fresh coat of slurry seal as well as striping to pretty much protect the outside layer of protective coating to reduce wear and tear and prevent water from seeping into the asphalt. This is going to preserve the life out here and make sure that we still have a beautiful sports park to first park in and then go play some ball. The sports park office renovations is now complete. It looks beautiful from this vantage point right here. This project added additional offices in the previously underutilized computer room. So our staff and everything like that will have some room to move around a little bit and close their door if they would like to. A widening project, the Bake and Irvine Boulevard / Trabuco Road widening will improve traffic flow at this intersection. This is a multi-phase approach in this project. Phase one consists of the utility relocations. You probably see that today if you drive down there. Some of the large Edison poles has been set back, and some of the other utilities that were attached to that pole is going to be relocated once we start widening. So we've done the prep work, or at least Southern California Edison has done the prep work. Now it's our turn to start widening the project. We're looking forward to the next phase in the next couple months as we bid that out. Here's a list of other projects completed in the last year in 2023. So the photo here shows a new ramp completed this winter as part of the CDBG ADA ramp phase project, phase number 13. So a lot of these are really good projects that we've been able to complete. All right, next is staff completed 13 CIP projects in 2023, representing more than $7 million in investment into the community, some of which are shown on this slide as well. We're really, really proud of the traffic side of it, which is the El Toro Portola Parkway widening, which got us an extra additional right turn lane and some left turn pockets. Now moving in projects that are under construction. So if you're in this neighborhood in Slurry Seal Zone A, which is kind of I'll call it the northwest sector of our city, it's part of our 7-year Slurry Seal program. So we've, gone around once already, and we're repeating the process as to, reinvest into our city streets and making sure that our streets are drivable, walkable, and bikeable, if that's a word. The street parkway tree replacement program is also ongoing. Tree removals phase is complete. The majority of the new trees are planted throughout the city. Last group of trees are currently being planted along Cherry to complete this project by May. The senior center patio cover will add to the add a year-round usable space in our popular senior center. You can see from this photo that the patio cover frame has been installed since our January update, and we still are progressing through completion through this. So you can kind of see it painted now if you walk towards that back end, towards the parking structure and near the senior center. One of the big projects is to kind of reinvigorate our city with some new street name signs. That project is currently underway with replacing the appearance of the city by street name signs. So the lovely blue background with the white lettering and our city logo, you'll start seeing that in the next few months. So we just started that phase. So 4 new CIP projects were awarded by council in February. These include Trabuco Road resurfacing, Ascension Cemetery left turn holding pocket, Trabuco Road trail rehab, and Lake Forest Drive resurfacing from Portola to Bake Parkway. Staff is coordinating with SCE and IRWD for utility relocations prior to the start of improvements, so we should see these projects coming online very shortly. The 14th phase of the ADA Ramps Improvement Program, again, this is another CDBG program, started in the city's southwest neighborhood to upgrade 8 ramps to the latest standards. This is projected to start in February, which has started, and is anticipated to complete prior to the summertime. Annual park amenities replacements and annual park sidewalk repairs are also ongoing with anticipated completions in summer of 2024. Staff is working on awarding 5 contracts this quarter for the projects you see here. Barker Ranch Dog Park synthetic turf replacement, the 2nd phase of the Ridge Route median improvements, Civic Center drainage improvements, Annual Street sidewalk improvements, and lastly, Pittsford Park shade structure renovation. We will also be advertising several projects. Geronimo and Maryland's arterial slurry seal project in front of the middle school that's there, and the intermediate school, El Toro irrigation conservation, the bus shelter renovation, and Heroes Park lighting. Contract administration and contract inspection contracts have been awarded for these 5 projects listed here. They're scheduled, for council approval and award this May. Construction of the first 4 projects are scheduled to be advertised this quarter, and we look forward to that being done by the end of the year, if not sooner. Now moving on to projects in design. Design of 3 projects started, there's 3 projects that started design this year, which is the ones that you see here, the pickleball court, Foothill Ranch, lacrosse rink installation, and Baker Ranch Park turf replacement. Multiple slurry steel and street resurfacing designs are in progress. So you can see here, slurry steel zone D, the Lake Forest Drive resurfacing and Bake Parkway resurfacing is in design right now. And several of the Liftham and the FCPP designs are moving forward. There's a few here that are very specific. The biggest one that you'll see in the near future is Bake Parkway, Tribuco Road widening that we just talked about with the first phase. So we're moving along there. And some of these projects, including the 4 listed here, involve coordination with adjacent HOAs, neighboring cities, County of Orange, and utility companies. For instance, the Los Alisos Maryland's projects, staff has met with Saddleback Valley Unified School District to discuss some right-of-way impacts, as well as the city of Mission Viejo, because a lot of this is within the city of Mission Viejo. And we are in that process of right-of-way and discussion with those specific property owners. Now let's look at what is coming up next. So the upcoming projects, we just kind of talked about it. The Traffic Operation Improvement Study is going to council for award for the design. And the 2nd phase of the Protected Permissive Left Turn Design, our phasing project, is will be under design soon too. We did just go out for RFP. We are ready to award that project as well to another designer. We look forward to having them work on that project for us as well. And then we have the Pavement Management Plan Update Study as well. So just to recap, I know this commission is close to the Protected Permissive Left Turn. The locations that we are doing these at is at Catalina at Alton Parkway and Monarch at Alton Parkway as well. And it will only be for the side streets. It will not be for Alton Parkway. Okay. Heroes Park sports field renovations will replace the outfield fencing for fields 1 and 4, along with the installation of a warning track. In addition, the infields will be leveled between the dirt and the outfield grass. So Vintage Park Phase 2 community survey is complete. Community services staff has tallied the results and presented to the Community Services Commission this month. Staff is gearing up for Peachwood, Nature Park, and Lake Forest Parks community surveys, with other parks community outreach following later this year. So that's what's going on our park side. And in summary, we completed 15 overall projects. 11 projects are in different phases of construction. 13 projects are being scheduled for award of construction of contract or construction advertisement, and 14 projects are currently under design. This concludes my presentation, so I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
One second. Before we begin commissioner comments, Madam Secretary, do we have anyone from the public that would like to comment on item number 4?
We have nobody to speak. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
If I may,
Commissioner Anderson?
yes. Are we supposed to approve these projects?
No, this is a recommendation for receive and file, so there will not be a formal vote. This is just for update and information purposes.
Very well, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other commissioners?
Just a confirmation on the street signs. I think that's great that we're switching those over. And I assume those are just on the main streets, or who decides which signs? We're not doing those in residential areas on those signs. These are just the major arterial streets, or how do we decide that?
Yeah, city council actually, it was initially only for the residential streets. So we were replacing all residential streets outside of private streets. All public residential streets will be replaced with the new blue sign. We brought that back to city council a couple months back. They thought that to have some uniformity, to also include the traffic signals and the advanced street name signs. So they added that to the project scope as well. So now we will have the entire city outside of private streets and private HOAs to be the new blue sign. And that starts off in the Southwest Lake Forest location, Southwest Lake Forest, then it will move towards, I'll call it the east, towards the hills.
Okay, so not just like on, El Toro, Lake Forest, those signs, it'll be the residential sections as well.
Correct, yes.
That's great.
Yep.
Okay.
Co-Chair?
So Trabuco Road pavement project, I assume that's going to start pretty soon, since it looks like the water guys put pipes in on Peachwood, and is that ready to go now, or?
Chair and Commissioners, yeah, so the city's ready to go. We're waiting on IRWD's got their project to finish up. Edison's also got a project to come in and finish up. So they're going to do their 2 projects first. We're delaying our projects, wait for them to get in first, and then we'll pave over everything. Yeah, I don't know the latest schedule, but they should be done. Were you in on that meeting? 2 months? 2 months, Edison should be out there. They're upgrading a bunch of equipment out there.
All right, so Irvine Ranch did something, and now Edison's got to do something, and then the pavement project will start?
Correct.
Okay, roughly August or something, maybe July?
Yeah,
maybe.
2 months is what I think we're shooting for.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and we'll start on the trail first. There's like a little bike trail, asphalt trail first. So we'll start there. There'll be a little overlap. We're just, it's a timing issue with Edison.
Thank you.
I had one question on the permissive left turn lanes. One of the trial ones, I think it was that Market Town Center. Is that the correct intersection? I thought we weren't using that, but I went through there the other day and it was functional, at least on Market. Is that the plan is to, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So at that intersection, as part of the study, we did evaluate that Town Center may not be at the appropriate time at this point to utilize a flashing yellow arrow, but Marketplace is and has been functioning fine as of late. We have not had any concerns or issues come up as of late, and we're still monitoring the intersection as part of the initial study.
And then one other question on that, as far as functionality. I was sitting there and the red ball was on to exit the shopping center, so I would call that kind of eastbound, and the permissive signal was on to allow the left. I actually didn't expect that phase to be there. I would have expected it to be solid red for all traffic moving in that direction. Is that how we're going to be running all of the signals?
It depends. We go conservative at first. But once we start moving forward and people start being familiarized themselves with the flashing yellow arrow, that operation is common. It's just basically sensing, and our technology is doing their job, is saying there's nobody that needs the demand for the through traffic that's adjacent to you, but there is a green that's going on the other side, and the other side also has a flashing permissive left turn to go ahead and free that left turn if need be, or if you could. So yes, it can do that. We work it out so that it's kind of as demand calls for it, we will allow it to move into that, just to move traffic along. But like I said, we showed how conservative, the conservative approach that we installed was it'll be all red, then we'll go protected, then it'll go to the green balls, and it'll go to permissive lefts at that time. So we felt that that intersection, as well as the one in Rockfield Center, could benefit from some adjustments on timing to address the traffic flow at that location. So it just depends on how we see traffic, and if everything looks pretty good and everyone's familiarized with themselves with how the operation is, we'll start moving into our optimization of signal timing.
Okay. That just, to me, I've never, ever thought that was confusing. I understood 100% how it worked, but for that particular phase to work, that means that my opposing traffic has a green arrow so that I'm getting a solid red, and then the permissive is on. So that's what looked confusing to me, because I actually, it took me a while to figure out what's going on. So I'm kind of against that kind of phase, personally. I think as soon as you get on a street that's got more traffic, if people can't figure out regular operations on that permissive signal, they're not going to get that one, because I have a pretty substantial traffic background.
Thank you. That's noted. We value the feedback in regards to our signal timing processes, and we'll take that back and take a look at it in the shop and make sure it's appropriate for that intersection, for sure.
Okay, you don't have to pull it from there. I'm just suggesting that when we start going widespread, and it may never come up, because it would have to be a situation where it was, you were permitting
demand was
straight
there.
traffic to go as well. So, but just something to think about. It's a rare phase, I think.
Yes, it is.
Anyone else have any comments? Commissioners? I'll move item 4, or is it a receive and file?
It's a receive and file, so we can move on to the next item.
Okay. All right, does any staff have any comments?
None for me tonight. Thank you.
Moving on to commissioners. Commissioner Anderson?
I'd like to thank the staff for the prepared documentation. I'd like to thank staff for the well-prepared documentation and the thoroughness in doing their job.
Commissioner Armando?
Yeah, I just was looking at the, was it the ALF and all the people that send in information, and I appreciate the fact that looks like we respond to everybody's question and send it on, so I appreciate that. And if it's, I see a lot of them were from the city of Irvine, so we encourage them to contact the city of Irvine, I assume. But I appreciate that work, that whoever does that gets back to them and answers their questions, I'm assuming. Thank you.
Commissioner Camarena?
No comments, thank you.
Vice Chair Reichert? And I don't have anything either. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned. Our next regular scheduled meeting is for June 3rd, 2024.